The body you once knew feels like a stranger. The power you took for granted, a fading memory. This is not a sentence, but a silent fear for many. Most will search for a complex solution, but the answer is a simple daily practice. 99% will miss the final part where we connect this practice to the mind, and that is where true, lasting strength is preserved. Fading strength. We observe in nature that all things have a cycle. A tree blossoms in the spring, it is full and vibrant in the summer, it releases its leaves in the autumn, and it rests in the winter. This is a natural law, a rhythm that we too are a part of. The human body is no different. There is a time of growth, a time of peak expression, and a time of gentle decline. The challenge we face in our modern understanding is that we view this decline not as a natural transition, but as a failure, a disease to be fought with aggression. This condition, this loss of substance and vitality in the muscles that have carried us through life, is often seen as an enemy. But what if we were to reframe this understanding? What if we saw it not as a sudden attack, but as a consequence of a long period of disconnection, a slow, quiet departure of strength that occurs when we are no longer in conversation with our own physical vessel? It is a sign that the communication between our intention and our physical reality has become faint. The world we have built is one of great speed and distraction. We are encouraged to live in our minds, in the digital space, in future plans and past regrets. The body becomes a vehicle to carry the head from one meeting to another, a tool to perform tasks. We forget to inhabit it. And so, like a garden that is not tended, its vitality begins to diminish. The soil loses its richness. The plants begin to wither. This process is not malicious. It is simply an outcome of neglect. The loss of strength in our later years is often this very process made visible. It is the physical manifestation of a life spent looking outward rather than inward. We notice one day that it is harder to lift a bag of groceries, more difficult to rise from a chair, or that our balance is not what it once was. We are surprised by this, as if it happened overnight, but it did not. It was a slow erosion, the result of 1,000 small moments of inattention, 1,000 days where the body's quiet needs were ignored for the mind's loud demands. To truly address this, we must first sit with this reality. We must look at it without fear or judgment. It is not about blaming ourselves, but about understanding the cause, the root of the matter. The fading of strength is a call to return. It is an invitation from your own body to come back home, to pay attention once more, to re-establish the connection that has been lost. It asks us to become gardeners of our own being, to learn the nature of our own soil, and to understand what it needs to be nourished. This is not a battle to be won, but a relationship to be restored. The first step in preserving our strength is not an action, but a shift in perception. It is the willingness to see our body not as a machine that is breaking down, but as a living, breathing ecosystem that is asking for our conscious participation in its well-being. It is a call for presence. When we can approach this journey with this mindset, the path forward becomes clear, and the solutions that emerge are not harsh or forceful, but gentle, consistent, and deeply nurturing. This is the foundation upon which all lasting vitality is built. This journey requires a quiet mind. It asks that we filter out the noise that tells us aging is a catastrophe. This noise sells us fear, and from fear, we make poor decisions. We grasp for extreme solutions that promise to turn back the clock, but they often do more harm, creating imbalance and further disconnecting us from the body's innate wisdom. The body does not want to be shocked into submission. It wants to be guided into harmony. The strength we seek to maintain is not the brute force of our youth, but a resilient, intelligent strength that supports a life of clarity and purpose. It is the strength to remain upright, not just physically, but spiritually. It is the endurance to walk our path with grace. This is a much more profound quality than mere muscle mass. And so, the process of preserving it must also be profound. It must be rooted in awareness, in the simple act of listening to what your body is telling you in its own quiet language. This is the beginning of true self-care, the first step in preventing the slow departure of our physical power. It begins not in the gym, but in the stillness of your own mind. Shallow roots. In our search for answers, we often look for the complex, the secret, the thing that no one else knows. We believe that a significant problem must require an equally significant and complicated solution. This is the mindset of the modern world. We are presented with an endless stream of information, of new studies, of revolutionary products, each one promising to be the definitive answer. We are told to eat this, not that, to do this exercise, not another. The result is confusion. We become collectors of information but not practitioners of wisdom. We have a library of knowledge in our heads, but our bodies remain untended. This approach is like trying to build a strong tree by focusing only on the leaves. We polish them, we spray them, we admire their shape, but we forget to water the roots. And a tree with shallow roots, no matter how beautiful its leaves, will be the first to fall in a storm. The strength of the tree is not in its canopy, it is in its connection to the earth. This search for the external, for the magic pill, or the perfect routine is a distraction from the fundamental truth. Strength and vitality are cultivated from within. They are the result of simple, consistent, and mindful practices, not complex, sporadic interventions. When we are faced with the prospect of losing our physical autonomy, the fear can be immense. And in that fear, we become vulnerable to promises of quick fixes. We buy the expensive machine, we subscribe to the intense program, we consume the processed powder that claims to hold the essence of life. But these are external solutions to an internal problem. They do not address the foundational disconnection between mind and body. They may provide a temporary boost, a fleeting sense of progress, but they do not build a resilient foundation. Lasting strength is not something you can buy, it is something you must cultivate. It is not a product you consume, but a state of being you inhabit. The danger of this shallow-rooted approach is that it creates a cycle of hope and disappointment. We place our faith in an external authority, a study, a guru, a product, and when it fails to deliver the lasting change we seek, we feel defeated. We conclude that the problem is with us, that our bodies are simply failing and there is nothing to be done. This is the greatest deception. The problem is not with you, it is with the approach. You have been taught to look for answers in the noise of the marketplace when the truth resides in the stillness of your own being. To build deep roots, we must turn our attention away from the storm of information and focus on the soil. We must simplify. We must ask ourselves, what are the fundamental pillars of health? What are the timeless principles that have supported human vitality for millennia, long before the invention of supplements and complex machinery? The answers are often so simple that we overlook them in our quest for the extraordinary. We must have the courage to trust in this simplicity, the courage to believe that a few well-chosen, consistently applied principles can be more powerful than 1,000 fleeting tips. This means letting go of the need for constant novelty and embracing the rhythm of a dedicated practice. It means finding joy not in the results, but in the process itself, the daily act of caring for your vessel. When we shift our focus from the leaves to the roots, we stop being swayed by every new wind that blows. We become grounded. Our energy is no longer scattered in a dozen different directions. It is focused and directed toward what truly matters. We begin to build a deep, unshakable foundation of health that can support us through all the seasons of our life. This is the path away from the anxiety of a quick fix and toward the peace of a sustainable practice. It is the difference between a house built on sand and one built on solid rock. The choice of where we build is always our own inner ground. Before we can plant a seed that will grow into a strong tree, we must first prepare the ground. This is the most crucial step and the one most often overlooked. The inner ground is your own body, your own being. Preparing it means creating a state of receptivity, of balance, of readiness. It is an internal process of clearing away the debris so that which is nourishing can take root. What is this debris? It is the tension we hold in our muscles from years of unaddressed stress. It is the mental clutter of constant worry and planning. It is the residue of a diet that was convenient but not nourishing. To prepare the inner ground, we must begin with the practice of subtraction, not addition. We must gently let go of that which does not serve us. This begins with awareness. You cannot clear a field if you cannot see what is in it. So we begin by simply observing, by turning our attention inward without judgment. We sit in stillness and we feel, where is the tension in the body? Is it in the shoulders, the jaw, the lower back? We do not need to force it to release. We simply notice it. The act of bringing gentle, loving awareness to a tense area is often enough to begin the process of letting go. This is the first act of tilling the soil. We are breaking up the hard, compacted earth of chronic stress, allowing for circulation and flow to return. We do so with the breath. The breath is the most powerful tool we have for managing our internal state. A calm, deep, diaphragmatic breath sends a signal of safety and peace to every cell in the body. It is a message that says, all is well, you can relax, you can release. When we practice this conscious breathing, we are aerating the soil of our being, making it light and receptive. It costs nothing. It requires no equipment. It is available to us in every moment. This is the fundamental practice. Once we have begun to clear the ground through awareness and breath, we can then consider what we add. We must be selective. The modern world encourages us to add more and more, but a wise gardener knows that a field can be choked by too many things, even if they are good things. We must choose our nourishment wisely. This applies to the food we eat, the information we consume, the company we keep, and the thoughts we entertain. Are they life-affirming? Do they contribute to a state of balance and harmony, or do they create chaos and stress? To prepare the inner ground is to become a conscious gatekeeper of your own being. It is to take responsibility for your internal environment. This is the essence of self-mastery. It is not about control in the sense of domination, but control in the sense of conscious, loving guidance. This preparation is not a one-time event. It is a daily practice, a continuous process of tending. Just as a garden requires daily weeding and watering, so too does our inner ground require daily attention. A few minutes each day dedicated to stillness, to conscious breathing, to checking in with the state of your body and mind is more valuable than a week-long retreat once a year. It is the consistency that reshapes the landscape. It is the small, repeated acts of care that create a foundation of profound and resilient health. When your inner ground is prepared, when the soil is rich and clear, then any seed you plant has the greatest possible chance to flourish. The nourishment you take in, whether it is food, movement, or rest, will be fully absorbed and integrated. It will not be wasted. This is why we must begin here. Without this fertile ground, even the most potent medicine or the most perfect fruit will not be able to offer its full gift. Prepare the ground first, everything else will follow. Nature's gift. Nature, in its profound and silent wisdom, provides us with everything we need. It offers us models of resilience, cycles of renewal, and a pharmacy of nourishment. When we align ourselves with its rhythms and accept its gifts with gratitude, we find that the path to well-being becomes simple and clear. In the context of preserving the body's substance and vitality, nature offers a particular gift. It is not a secret, hidden away in an inaccessible jungle, but a humble and potent offering that has been recognized by wise traditions for centuries. We are speaking of a fruit, but it is more than just a fruit. It is a symbol of concentrated life force. It is a small, resilient berry, often deep red in color, that grows in harsh conditions. Its very existence is a testament to endurance. This berry is the goji berry, sometimes known as the wolfberry. To understand its value, we must look beyond the list of vitamins and antioxidants, though they are plentiful. We must look at its energetic quality. its essence. This berry has long been revered in Eastern traditions as a tonic for life force, or what some might call ki, or vital energy. It is considered to be a substance that nourishes the very foundation of our physical being, supporting the deep reserves of energy from which our strength, longevity, and resilience are drawn. It is said to have a particular affinity for the systems in the body that govern our structural integrity and our ability to recover and rebuild. In the language of the gardener, this berry is like a potent organic fertilizer for the soil of our body. It does not force growth, but rather enriches the ground so that the body's own innate intelligence can carry out its work of maintenance and repair more effectively. The beauty of this gift is its gentleness. It is not a harsh stimulant that gives a temporary surge of energy followed by a crash. Its effects are slow, cumulative, and balancing. It works by replenishing, not by forcing. This is a crucial distinction. The path to lasting strength is one of replenishment, of filling our cup so that it may overflow. The path of stimulants is one of draining our deep reserves for a short-term gain, leaving us more depleted in the long run. This humble berry invites us into the first path. It teaches us the wisdom of gradual, consistent nourishment. Consuming it is not like taking a medicine to fix a problem. It is like adding a rich compost to your garden. You do not see the change overnight, but over time, you notice the entire ecosystem becoming more vibrant, more resilient, more alive. When we choose to incorporate such a gift from nature into our lives, we are doing more than just consuming a superfood. We are participating in a conversation with the natural world. We are acknowledging that we are part of it and that its wisdom can support us. The act of preparing a small handful of these berries, of steeping them in warm water, of consuming them with intention and gratitude becomes a small ritual. It is a moment in the day where we consciously choose to nourish the foundation of our being. This simple act sends a powerful message to our body and mind. I am caring for you. I am providing you with what you need to be strong. I am on your side. This psychological and emotional component is just as important as the physical nutrients. It is part of preparing the inner ground, of creating a state of harmony in which the body can thrive. This is the true power of nature's gift. It nourishes the body and the spirit simultaneously. Daily cultivation? Having a powerful tool is one thing. Knowing how to use it with wisdom and consistency is another entirely. The goji berry, this gift of nature, is not a magic bullet. Its true potential is unlocked not through mere consumption, but through the practice of daily cultivation. This means integrating it into your life not as a sporadic remedy, but as a steadfast ritual, a cornerstone of your commitment to yourself. The power lies in the rhythm, the consistency. Just as the sun rises each day, just as the seasons follow their unchangeable sequence, our practice of self-nourishment must have a reliable, gentle pulse. This is how we build deep, lasting trust with our own body. We show it through our actions that it can count on us to provide what it needs, day in and day out. This consistency is a form of love. It is a form of discipline that is rooted not in harshness, but in devotion. Consider the ritual itself. It can be beautifully simple. Perhaps each morning upon waking you take a small cherished bowl. You place a handful of the dried berries within it. You pour warm, not boiling water over them, and you allow them to steep for a few minutes. During this time, you do not rush. You do not check your phone. You simply stand, you breathe, and you watch as the berries soften and plump, releasing their essence into the water. You observe the deep red color infusing the liquid, a visual representation of the life force you are about to receive. This moment of quiet observation is part of the nourishment. It is a practice of mindfulness, of being fully present with a simple act of self-care. It calms the nervous system and prepares the body to receive the gift with full receptivity. This is profoundly different from mindlessly tossing a handful of berries into a smoothie while rushing out the door. When the berries are soft, you can consume them in a way that feels right to you. You might drink the warm, infused water first, feeling its gentle warmth spread through you. Then you can eat the softened berries, chewing them slowly and deliberately. As you chew, you are not just breaking down the physical substance, you are consciously taking in the energy they represent. You can hold the intention in your mind. I am nourishing my foundation. I am building resilient strength. I am supporting my body's vitality. This intentionality transforms the act of eating from a purely mechanical process into a sacred one. It becomes a form of meditation, a direct communication with your physical being. You are aligning your mind, your intention, and your physical action into a single, powerful current of well-being. This alignment is where the deepest transformation occurs. This daily practice becomes an anchor in your day. It is a non-negotiable act of self-respect. It may only take 5 or 10 minutes, but its effects ripple throughout your entire day and over time throughout your entire life. It establishes a new baseline of care. It reminds you every single morning that your well-being is a priority. This consistent, mindful ritual does more than just deliver nutrients to your cells. It rebuilds the relationship between you and your body. It replaces the old patterns of neglect and inattention with new patterns of presence and care. Over weeks and months, you may begin to notice subtle shifts, not just in your physical strength, but in your overall sense of groundedness, your clarity of mind, your emotional balance. This is the holistic effect of true cultivation. You are not just preventing the loss of muscle, you are cultivating a life of integrated, conscious vitality. This is the art and practice of daily cultivation, conscious movement. The nourishment we take in, this potent life force from nature's gift, is a form of potential energy. But for potential energy to become kinetic, for it to express itself as strength and vitality in the world, it must be guided by movement. A river that is dammed up becomes stagnant. Energy that is not circulated creates blockages. Therefore, the partner to daily nourishment is daily, conscious movement. This is not about punishment, not about pushing the body to its limits in an effort to force it into submission. That is the old paradigm, the one rooted in a battle against the self. The new paradigm, the one of lasting vitality, is about moving with the body, not against it. It is about listening to its wisdom and moving in a way that honors its current state while gently encouraging it to expand its capacity. This is conscious movement. What does this look like in practice? It is often the opposite of what we see in commercial gyms. It is not about loud music and explosive effort. It is about quiet attention and subtle control. It can be as simple as starting the day with a series of gentle stretches, moving each joint through its full range of motion. As you do this, your full attention is on the sensation of the movement. You feel the lengthening of the muscles, the space being created in the joints. You breathe into any areas of tightness, not to force them open, but to invite them to release. This type of movement is a continuation of the conversation you started with your morning ritual. You are asking the body, where are you today? What do you need? And you are listening to its response through the language of sensation. This builds a profound level of bodily intelligence and awareness. Walking can be a powerful form of conscious movement. We all walk, but we rarely do it with our full presence. A conscious walk involves feeling the soles of your feet connecting with the ground, feeling the gentle swing of your arms, the rotation of your spine, the rhythm of your breath. You are not walking to get somewhere. The walking itself is the destination. This practice circulates the energy you have cultivated, sending it to every part of your body. It strengthens the large muscles of the legs and hips, which are so crucial for our stability and power, but it does so in a way that is harmonious and low impact. It calms the mind and allows for a state of flowing awareness. This is a practice that can be done at any age and at any level of fitness. It is a return to a fundamental human movement, but infused with a new level of intention. For those who are able, practices like Tai Chi or Qigong are the epitome of conscious movement. These ancient arts are moving meditations that are specifically designed to cultivate and circulate life force energy. They combine slow, graceful movements with deep breathing and focused intention. They build strength, improve balance, and increase flexibility, all while creating a profound sense of inner calm and harmony. They are a perfect expression of the principle of yin and yang, of yielding and expressing, of softness and strength. But you do not need to attend a formal class to benefit from the principle. The core idea is to move slowly, to breathe deeply, and to pay attention. You can create your own simple sequence of movements that feels good for your body. The goal is to make movement a joyful, nurturing experience, not a chore. When we combine daily, conscious movement with daily, conscious nourishment, we create a powerful, self-reinforcing cycle of vitality. The nourishment provides the fuel and the movement circulates it, allowing the body to rebuild, maintain, and express its innate, intelligent strength. Lasting vitality. The pursuit of strength and health is not a sprint. It is a marathon that spans the entirety of our lives. The mindset that seeks instant results is the same mindset that leads to burnout and disappointment. To cultivate lasting vitality, we must adopt the perspective of a master craftsperson who knows that true quality is the result of patience, precision, and unwavering consistency. It is the understanding that each day is an opportunity to lay one more brick in the foundation of our well-being. One brick may seem insignificant, but over the course of a year, of a decade, of a lifetime, these bricks build a fortress of health that can withstand the inevitable storms of life. This long-term perspective is perhaps the most important element of all. It frees us from the anxiety of daily fluctuations and allows us to trust in the process. There will be days when you feel strong and full of energy. There will be other days when you feel tired or unmotivated. This is natural. The wise practitioner does not judge these states, they simply observe them and adjust their practice accordingly. On a day of high energy, the walk might be longer, the movements more expansive. On a day of low energy, the practice might be as simple as 5 minutes of quiet breathing and a gentle stretch. The key is not the intensity of the practice, but the uninterrupted continuity of it. It is the commitment to show up for yourself every single day, in some small way. This is what builds momentum. This is what rewires the brain and the body for health. It is the gentle, relentless pressure of the stream that carves the canyon, not the violent, sporadic force of the flash flood. This long-term view also changes our relationship with aging. Instead of seeing it as a process of inevitable decay to be feared and fought, we can see it as a process of refinement, of maturation. A well-aged tree has a strength and character that a young sapling cannot possess. A life lived with conscious care allows us to age with grace, to retain our inner strength, our clarity, and our dignity. We are not trying to look like we are 25 when we are 70. We are trying to be the strongest, most vital, most clear-minded 70-year-old we can be. This is a much more realistic and fulfilling goal. It replaces fear with purpose. Our practice is no longer about clinging to the past. It is about fully inhabiting the present and building the best possible future, whatever our age. This requires a deep trust in the laws of cause and effect. The small positive actions you take today, the mindful consumption of a nourishing fruit, the conscious walk, the moment of stillness, are the causes. The effect is the lasting vitality you will experience months and years from now. It is not always immediately visible, which is why faith and patience are required. You are planting seeds for a future harvest. You must trust that if you tend the garden faithfully, the fruits will appear in their own time. This perspective cultivates a profound sense of peace. You are no longer at the mercy of external circumstances or the latest health fad. You are the master of your own vessel, calmly and quietly steering it toward the harbor of well-being, one day at a time, one breath at a time. This is the path to a strength that does not fade, but rather deepens with time. True balance. In the end, this entire journey comes down to a single, essential principle: balance. The body is not a collection of separate parts, but a unified, intelligent system that is constantly seeking equilibrium. The loss of strength, the fading of vitality, is a sign that this system has fallen out of balance. Our modern lives push us toward extremes: extreme work, extreme rest, extreme dieting, extreme indulgence, extreme mental activity, extreme physical neglect. The path to restoring our power is the path of returning to the center, to the middle way. It is about harmonizing the seemingly opposing forces within us: mind and body, action and stillness, giving and receiving. This is the ultimate goal. The fruit, the movement, the breath, they are not the goal themselves. They are tools to help us find this balance. The mind and the body are in a constant dynamic dance. A stressed and anxious mind creates tension and inflammation in the body. A weak and untended body creates fogginess and lethargy in the mind. You cannot heal one without addressing the other. This is the final step that most people miss. They may eat the right food and do the right exercises, but if their mind remains a chaotic storm of worry and fear, the body will never truly find its foundation of strength. This is why the practice of mindfulness is not an optional accessory. It is the central pillar. The quiet moments you cultivate while steeping your tea, while walking, while breathing, are what heal the mind. And a calm, clear mind sends a powerful signal of safety and coherence to the body, allowing it to relax, repair, and rebuild. True balance is not a static state that you achieve once and for all. It is a dynamic process of continuous adjustment, like a tightrope walker making 1,000 tiny movements to stay on the wire. It requires constant awareness. We must become sensitive enough to feel when we are drifting out of balance and have the wisdom to know what small adjustment is needed to return to center. Perhaps we need more rest or more movement. Perhaps we need more social connection or more solitude. Perhaps we need to nourish ourselves with healthier food or with more inspiring thoughts. The practice of self-awareness, cultivated daily, is what gives us this sensitivity and wisdom. It is the inner compass that guides us back to our own true north. The strength we seek to preserve is, in its deepest sense, the strength of this balance. It is the resilience that comes from a system in harmony. It is the quiet power of a being that is whole and integrated. It is not a loud, boastful strength, but a calm, unshakable presence. This is the vitality that can carry us through all of life's challenges with grace and equanimity. It is a strength that emanates from the core of our being because we have taken the time to nourish the roots, tend the garden, and harmonize the dance between our inner and outer worlds. This is the ultimate gift we can give ourselves as we navigate the seasons of our life. The power to preserve your vessel does not lie in a single fruit, a secret exercise, or a complex formula. It lies in the quiet dignity of your daily attention. It is found in the simple, loving commitment to show up for yourself, to listen to the silent language of your body, and to provide it with the gentle, consistent care it needs. This is a strength that cannot be taken from you, for it is built not of muscle, but of awareness. It is the peace that comes from knowing you are the faithful guardian of your own precious life. This message arrived at the exact moment I needed to hear it. The part about the body being a garden we must tend, rather than a machine that is breaking, completely shifted my perspective. Which thought here gave you a moment of stillness?